Hi, Randy Wheeler here with Wheeler Coaching. When you lead people, it's difficult because people are complicated. And and one of the questions that I want to address today in this video is, what role does emotional intelligence play in our leadership? Leadership is hard because it involves people. But I don't know about you, but the hardest person for me to lead is myself. When I talk about the 4 pillars of leadership, one of those pillars is self-leadership. And we're going to dive into that pillar by looking at this emotional intelligence. And why is emotional intelligence important? Because we're dealing with people and people have emotions. But let me take a moment and unpack this idea. Emotional intelligence was first brought to people's attention by Daniel Goleman. He wrote a book all about it. He wrote a book, Primal Leadership, which is an excellent book on leadership and emotional intelligence I recommend. But to make it simple, emotional intelligence is being aware of our feelings so that we can respond well. So there's 4 ideas I'm going to suggest to you on why emotional intelligence is important for our leadership. And as we unpack these, I suggest you explore how you're doing in this area. So first of all, we want to be aware of ourselves. There's a little part of our brain. It's called the amygdala. The amygdala is the part of the brain that it takes over. Way back a long time ago, there was a phrase called going postal. And basically it means losing your mind. It's that time where you went off on somebody, and maybe it was someone close to you, and you just blew up. You said all these things. You don't even remember what you said. But you felt good afterwards while everybody around you is looking like this. Because you just exploded all over. When we have good emotional intelligence, we're aware of our own emotions. I've been in situations, I was in a board meeting, and one of the individuals said some things, and I felt my emotions rising. I felt my anger increasing. And I had to kind of pause and catch myself. If I'd let the emotions take over and take that amygdala part of my brain, I would have said things I would have regretted and definitely would not have been professional. I have 3 children. And sometimes they just don't do what I want them to do. And I'll get fired up and I'll get angry, and I feel this part of me that just, I just want to bite their heads off. I'm just being real with you. Maybe you've been there, maybe you haven't. If you don't have kids, just wait. But what I do in that moment, part of what I have to stop and do is think, why am I really angry? Why am I really frustrated? And I hate to admit it, but too often it's because I can't control them. And maybe that's your situation as you lead people. You get frustrated because they're not doing what you expect, the way you expect, when you expect. Basically, you can't control them. Stopping to figure out the why is being aware of ourselves. But after we're aware of ourselves, there's a second level of awareness we need to consider. We need to be aware of others' feelings. Like I said, we're dealing with human beings. We as human beings are complicated people. And the people that we work with and we lead in whatever arena, they have more going on in their life than what they're there with you at that workplace, on that team for. And they may be feeling certain things, and we need to be aware of their feelings. It's like in the book To Kill a Mockingbird, put ourselves in another person's shoes and think, why are they feeling that way? And sometimes that's going to require a conversation where we talk to them and try to figure out what's going on as appropriate and as they will allow. You see, when we are able to understand our emotions and understand another person's emotions, we're raising our level of emotional intelligence so we can connect more effectively. Which takes me to my third thought here, which is this emotional intelligence helps us respond empathetically. Now, I'm sure you know what the word empathy means, but just in case, let me illustrate. I don't have a dog or a cat or anything, and I know people in my life they've lost their dogs. Now, I can have sympathy. I can say, "Oh, that's rough. I'm sorry." But I struggle to have empathy because I haven't been there. But I have a little more empathy because I once watched a movie that sucked me in so good. I could feel what it was like to have a pet and have a dog and then lose that dog and watch it die. I probably even shed a tear or two. Empathy is feeling with the other person. And we get to empathy as we are aware of our feelings and aware of their feelings. And we feel with them. And when people feel that we understand them on a deeper level, it increases trust. And it's going to increase their buy-in to your leadership because they know you care about them. The final idea here is emotional intelligence will help us resonate with others. As we have that empathy, as we feel, understand our feelings and feel with those that we lead, it's going to take us to a deeper level that we're on the same page and resonate with them. We're kind of in the, so to speak, we're vibing with them, for a term that others have used. But we're resonating with what's going on in their life. And when we're resonating, we're connecting. When we're connecting, we're able to communicate more effectively, and we're able to go further faster. Because at the end of the day, emotional intelligence is both about our leadership of ourselves and our ability to communicate and connect. 2 of the 4 pillars of our leadership. So my question for you is, you look at these areas, where do you need to grow? In your self-awareness, in being tuned into other people's feelings, in feeling with them, or just resonating and connecting with others. Whichever area it is, I encourage you to work on it this week, or even right after you've done watching this video. And if this was helpful to you, please share it with others. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the page. And if you want to get more helpful tips like this directly to your email inbox, go to leadwell.biz, sign up to get a free leadership ebook. And while you're there, you can take the leadership assessment. Have a fantastic day and lead well.